James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Taping again? Come on. I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James. I don't look like a ghost, do you?
Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway? What do you mean, anyway? You don't sound very happy to see me. I was almost killed back there. Why didn't you try to save me? All you care about is that dead wife of yours. I've never been so scared in my whole life.
Lost?
Just like that stupid dog. He had it coming too.
Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they looked at you.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
Oh, it's you.
Just putting a gun to their head.
I am. You want me to be?
So, what about Laura? Did you find her?
Yeah, but she ran away.
We've got to find her.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spooky Month in Silent Hill 2. We are going to start a new game, and this game doesn't really need an intro. Remake's coming out really, really soon, and I am hyped for it. And when I played this was one of I only played it recently, like back a couple years ago, and this is definitely one of my favorite horror games of all time. So let's get started.
Could you really be in this town?
Alrighty, and we're in. And one of my favorite fun facts, one about the scene. Hey. It's about the scene is when James touches his face, it's what people do to confirm that they're not lucid dreaming. And other than that in this bathroom where you can't see it, the way they have it is so there's another bathroom over there, and the mirror is basically a clear thing, and then there's another model of James on the other side, so there's a fully detailed secondary bathroom. Let's see. Can't check anything.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Now that is one of my favorite intros to a game ever. And it's kind of weird because both of you could consider the scene in the bathtub an intro, but that's also an intro too. And what I really, really like about another game that's very, very Silent Hill inspired, Signalis, is that it has that too, where it has, sort of it has the one intro, and then it has the basically what you could consider like a secondary intro. And that's one of like the similarities I really like, because you have the scene where you get off the spaceship and you go down the hole, and you get the big flashing lights and it goes Achtung, Achtung, and you could consider that an intro. But then you have the one where the creators of Signalis recreated the scene in the bathroom too. And you could consider that sort of like the intro to the game. So it has like an inverse. The bathroom scene is the cold intro here, and then you have the letter, and you have the getting off the spaceship as the cold intro for for Signalis, and then you have this one as the and then you have the bathroom scene as the like sort of you're in it now intro. And I kind of really like those similarities in it. Now we're gonna get the map, and James is just gonna leave his car fucking crooked over here, and open. And we're just gonna... Well, I'm gonna run, because you don't run out of stamina. And there's no penalties. And one of the... We gotta go past Toluca Lake, and if you press triangle, and you open up. And, you know, I have this on my actual PlayStation. And I actually bought this off of a buddy at a place I used to work for $50, because he wanted to get rid of it. He said it's his favorite game of all time, and I always wanted to try Silent Hill 2, so I have it. But one of the famous aspects of Silent Hill is obviously the multiple endings based on... I wouldn't say arbitrary, because arbitrary would mean it makes no sense. It makes sense, but only really after you play it. So, you know, semi-arbitrary stuff. And that's what makes Silent Hill really unique. And this is also sort of like... I don't want to say another intro, but this is like a, you know... This really gets you in the mood, because one of the famous things about one of the famous things about Silent Hill 2 is the fog. The PS2 is really, really good at making translucent stuff, and so, you know, they push that to the max because now you can cover up rendering. So, you know, stuff won't pop in because you won't be able to see it because of the fog. But this little walk into Silent Hill is different because I still haven't played Silent Hill 1. But Silent Hill 1, you start off with a crash. You're in Silent Hill already. But this is like this is very obviously like, you know, a point of no return. And you're getting all the signs. You're getting the birds flying away. You're getting all the stuff falling into the river right next to you. And soon you'll have, like, dogs barking and just, you know, stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable. And, you know, yeah, stuff moving around. Stuff that would make you uncomfortable walking through, you know, a misty town. And it's a misty little park. Now here... There's something in the well. What's that? Lana makes me feel like someone's groping around inside my skull. It gives me a weird feeling. So yeah, I'm already like... I've already played this. One of them is a new playthrough, and one of them is my brother's save file, because I've been forcing him to go through it. But, you know, the big Silent Hill 2 red square is pretty funny. And in the remake, they have it where the red square, instead of when you press on it, you just see, you know, the big still of James's face. You get a POV of the red square. So, you know, you're the red square, and you see what's happening to James. And I guess one thing before we leave the forest section is, you know, I knew nothing was in the forest first time I played it. But I decided to play it alone, in the dark, like I am now. Like, middle of the night on a day off. And one of the things you can, like, really give credit to Silent Hill, you know, like the first 4... is that they know how to make you uncomfortable, and I really like that. They're not super scary, but they definitely get in your head. Now, fair warning, my disc is a little old, so it might, the game might crap itself during this. That would be really, really sad.
Excuse me,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah. I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This, this town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for someone.
Who is it?
Someone very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your
No,
problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Now, back in the day, a lot of people used that scene to emphasize how stilted some dialogue can be. And now we have James in his cool pose, but I really, really, really like how, I wouldn't say unsettling, but how uncomfortable it is. Both James and, this is Angela over here. She hasn't given us her name yet, but I'll just say it. It's Angela. And how both of them deliver their lines, like they've like awkwardly bumped into each other in the middle of a supermarket is good. But you can also keep talking to her.
Aren't you looking for someone?
That's right.
That is one of my favorites. Aren't you looking for somebody? Oh yeah, I am. But that is Angela, and that was one of the first people you meet here in Silent Hill. Now, one of the things everybody likes about the Silent Hill games is Akira Yamaoka is the creator of the soundtrack, and this graveyard track right here is I wouldn't say one of my most favorites, but it's one of those ones that when you think of Silent Hill, you think of this. And it's also one of the ones that loops in a way that gets in your head. And it kind of, fits how empty this graveyard is. Now, one of the things that the game has already set up is that James is looking for somebody and Angela's looking for somebody. And it's almost like there's some supernatural at play. Maybe it's a good old haunting. But I have already beaten the game. So this won't show up your first playthrough. A chainsaw. I am going to leave it. Now, James will never run out of stamina, but he will get tired. And one of my favorite things is to explain why James can just absolutely hoof it through Silent Hill. They said, oh yeah, he was really good at track in high school. I love it. I love that. Just yeah, no, he was a track star. He can make it through Silent Hill. So yeah, you can just work James like a horse, and he won't stop. But I guess it kind of kills the vibe of Silent Hill. So we shall saunter. But the longer you run, the more out of breath James gets. This happens in I'm pretty sure most of the Silent Hill games. But other than that, we passed Silent Hill. I'm pretty sure we passed the farm. Now, one of the other cool details is ooh, James did a little butter slide there, but and stuff's popping in. But one of the cool things is, if you pay attention to the sounds of my feet, you know, it sounds like, you know, like stepping on dirt. But the second I enter here, that's made out of concrete, I make clunk sounds. You know, kind of like those old cartoons where you see like an old Looney Tune where you see the shoe cobbler cobble the shoes and you hear the clunk, 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 clunk. Now we go through the keep out danger sign. Now this is one of the other things that I also really like about old games in general is like new games are like, oh, there shouldn't be any loading screens, it should be seamless, but I like entering here and I just hear the old rusty gate shriek open and then I see nothing and then I load in and the first thing I hear is the big thunk of it going back into place and then I'm stuck somewhere new. I always like that. It's the same thing with like a Resident Evil 2. Like one of the most interesting things to me is how games use their limitations to their advantage. Back in Resident Evil 2, you couldn't make all of Raccoon City and the police station a one seamless thing. So what they had is the little play boxes, basically. Each part of the Raccoon City and each part of the police station was a little box that you would load into, and it would have its enemies, items, puzzles, and stuff like that. And the thing that would happen was you would open the door and you get a close-up of the door in a black void and it would open up and you'd hear it open up and make a long drone, and then you would it would close and you'd load into the next place. And that's supposed to be a little bit of part of the thing that keeps you on edge. And it's the same thing with Silent Hill. More effective, I'd say, in Resident Evil 2, just because of the you getting the close-up at the door. But that's always those little interesting facts about game design. Because it's the same thing with the fog. The fog is meant to be a gameplay limitation. So, well, let's James get his breath. But Silent Hill, at least in this one, is basically one big place. But to get beyond the PS2's limits of being able to load in big maps of stuff, they have the fog, and the fog is like the iconic part of it. Like you walk through Silent Hill, and the most you see is like a vague sign in the distance, and you want to get up to it, and you know, when you start getting close to all that stuff, it finally registers, oh, that wasn't, you know, something in the dark lurking around, it was trash. And it's one of those things that back in the day when you're a kid, it would put you on edge. You know, it's like I bet it would be like the same with, like, you know, less intentional, but you know, like if like your old VCR players started screwing up and you're you're disobeying your parents and you're watching too much Naruto on VHS at night like I used to. And we got a med kit there, and that is our... I always press map, but that's our first real item. So yeah, so here are our items. Our status is up there, and it's treated very coincidentally like an old VHS, so it'll start getting staticky when we get low health. But here's our med kit. Here is the picture of our wife. We can't use it, but we can examine it. You know, photo of Mary, a photo from when she was still healthy. And then you have, you know, letter from Mary. It's definitely Mary's name in her own handwriting on the front of the envelope. And examine. And I'll just repeat, you know, the opening. And we don't have memos. But if you've never played Silent Hill 2 before, this is the point in the game where it kind of wastes your time. Not because there's nothing important going on, but because you don't know really where to go. Now, I do know where to go. So it's much less of a time sink for me. But back in the day, before the big rise of internet and game guides, I actually never got to experience it because I was kind of born at a really awkward time, right when the internet was really big, but it was also kind of like you were still a weirdo for playing video games. But, you know, I'm basically having sort of like, you know, the sticks. You know? Okay, well, I screwed that up and I didn't read them. But are these marks blood? What was that just now? But, I was sort of, like, born at, like, I guess to say an awkward time, because I am only a year younger than Silent Hill 2. I was born in 2002. So, I was born at that awkward time where the PS3 was just coming out. Back when I would be able to play video... Oh, and see, I make little grass sounds. Right at that time where the PS3 was, you know, still gonna become, like, the big new console, and the PS2 still had, like, I guess relevancy, and it was still on the pedestal as, like, this is the game console of all time. One time when I was, it wasn't work, because I didn't work there at a time. I was just one of the members there. But I was stuck guessing what the best-selling console of all time was. And it didn't take me too long to deduce that it was PS2. I just went through every console in my head. And I was like, oh yeah, it's the PS2. And when you look how many games the PS2 has, it has like 4,000, something like that. You go, oh yeah, no wonder it sold so much. Now, one of the fun things about, or I guess it wouldn't be fun, it's one of the useful things, is that James will cock his head when you see an item. And that's always fun. And also, James has his weird little sausage fingers. But now James is doing the most horror protagonist thing ever, and he's following the blood trail and the gross kind of human looking thing down an abandoned alley. Well, I guess it says road, but, you know. But, yeah, it's really useful, especially when it will get dark. So James, you know, when he turns his head and goes, oh, a thing's there. But also, here's one of the things that I said earlier about loading screens. Like, this will be a loading screen, so you open it. But I still like it, even though it's, you know, this little quarantine off place and it's not it's technically a different part of the map, and that's always kind of funny. that the game has to have a loading screen for this little gap, but I like it. And I also like the footprints for the loading screen. It gives it personality, which a lot of games don't have right now. And I'm just gonna save. Chunk. And then we get out of Dodge. And now we're going to continue on this dirt road. But yeah, this is definitely like horror protagonist syndrome 101. Like, I'm getting led on a dirt path away from people. And I'm just chugging along. And now we have found the only way. So let's mosey on in. Now, this is the first enemy we have in the game. This is a line figure. I always call them line figures, like, oh.
Is it dead? What the hell is it? It's not human.
Great observation, James, but, yes, it is dead. It is, a line figure, because it lies on the ground. But it is, an enemy with a... Let's get out of here real quick.
Oh, yeah. This thing broken? What the? I'd better take it anyway. I might need it.
Okay, so, one fun detail is, now that I didn't step in it, but if you step in the line figure's blood, you will have, little buddy footprints that follow James. Now, the combat's downhill too. Not the best. And that's actually one of the things that I, like about what I've seen in the remake. The remake looks like it's gonna patch it up. But combat basic goes as follows. You have, R2, which stances James up. You can run during it too, so you can run around like a little weirdo and just swing. But you hold R2, and then you have a light attack, which you can swing around not infinitely. I mean, I guess you could if you did it forever, but very easily. And then you have press and hold, so kind of like an MGS 1 or 2, where if you hold too long, you snap somebody's neck instead of making them pass out. And so you have the heavy. If James will, are you just gonna embarrass me in front of all the 8 people watching, James? There you go. That's a heavy attack. Now we have our plank of wood. Now, we also... I always press map. I always think triangle is a item wheel. It is not. We have our wooden plank, and then we also have our radio. A small portable radio emits static noise when monsters are nearby, and you can adjust the volume, but it doesn't need to be that loud. Now, this is where Silent Hill starts, I wouldn't say opening up, but, this is the big, oh, where do I go to get to Rosewater Park segment of the game. And I've been going on for a bit. So, I will leave this off here. And see you and goodbye.